Okay, star 2 to raise your hand with any questions or comments. Hopefully we got a victory or two tonight. All right. Landon, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Good.
Hey, I got a real easy one for you. I'm getting to the point where people are asking me for they're cashing me out or they're done with their loans and that kind of thing, and I have to give them a release of lien. And I noticed, like in the past year or two, one of my main private lenders, he's been charging me $175 for a release of lien. Do you guys charge for that?
Absolutely not.
You don't? Okay.
No. One of your private lenders is doing that to you?
Yeah, and I think he can because, it's basically a business-to-business transaction.
No, he definitely can.
Right, he can do it to me. I don't know if I can do it to my homesteaded end buyer.
I think you can, but it has to be through the attorney who drafts the document. If you charge for drafting the document, you're practicing law without a license.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, and that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah.
But right. I would also go back to my private lender and say, hey, I've been good to you. You got to, is he charging you because that's what his attorney's charging him?
Yeah, he has the attorney do it. He's not charging me. It's actually through his attorney's office. More
I've gone to a couple of our private lenders and talked to them about that in the past.
Yeah.
And said, hey, can I draft it's my release. Is it okay if I draft it to save the money? And they've all been okay with it.
Yeah. This guy's hardcore. He's really, really difficult. But he's the guy who basically got me started. I had literally probably about 35 houses or so with him.
Then it's hard to turn those guys down.
It is. He's given me literally, over $1.5 million at least at this point, maybe more.
Yeah.
And he's hardcore. He's been in the business for 40 years, and he won't even budge on his rates. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm definitely a good bet for you by now, because I've been working with you for over 10 years, and he's not budging. He says, no, I can get more money if I put it out here, blah blah blah. So. Yeah, he's difficult. So I just paid the $175. I didn't even mess with it. I was like, all right, whatever. Just keep the money flowing when I need it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't cry over $175 when you can make, a couple thousand every time you dip into his pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably literally made me hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years when I, put it together and how many houses I bought with him. And
what rate is he at?
He's at a disgustingly high 10%.
Okay. He's still not terrible.
Yeah.
There's still room to make money there.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I've had guys when I first started, they want to do, 16%, 18%, 12%, and points and all that. He doesn't charge me any points or anything. So, and to be honest,
so he's a good deal.
He is. And in the price range of houses that I am, a difference between 8 and 10% is not a whole lot. I'm not talking about $250,000 houses. I might borrow, $30,000 from him or $50,000. The kind of stuff like the banks don't even want a loan on because it's too low for them. And he'll do it for me. So, paying 8% or 10% is not going to kill me.
No, and you got to stick by those people who got you started.
Yeah, and he clearly did. He was the first one to loan me money, and then once I started getting money from him, I just spread the word around, and people were like, okay, I want to do that too. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, excellent. How's your storage going?
We're getting there. We keep getting more people. Thanks to mostly StoreEdge, the one you told me about.
Good.
That's been a godsend. Thank you for that, by the way, because that's really been the only way we've been getting clients is through them.
Really good. Well, that's why we have the call, So that's good. I'm glad it worked. The other thing I want to tell you on that is if you've got some road frontage, we printed a massive sign. People can see that there's storage units and stuff, but we had a sign that's 6 foot tall by 80 foot long, done up with our phone number, and man, that sign seems to have really got people calling.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
sign wasn't cheap, but you know.
Yeah. I was kind of encouraged when I was purchasing this thing. I asked the guy who was in the middle of selling it to me, and he said, I never heard of him. I was thinking, all right, well, you know, if he's been getting his tenants the hard, old-fashioned way, I think I can make a good go with this with getting the place filled up. And, you know, like I said, that's where we've been getting everybody from.
Okay, what's
Storage.
your occupancy rate?
I think we're about 75% right now. You know, we started out around 50. So we're getting down there. We've only got 36 units. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we get it
what's
filled
the
up,
plan? What's the plan for it?
Well, one thing I want to do, we're not doing, I want to start having boat and RV storage out there as well. And I went to a place today by where I live, and I just asked him. I said, "Look, I got a 39-foot RV. What do you charge?" And he said, $100 a month. And he's got nothing. There's no covers. There's nothing fancy.
You're parking on his dirt for $100 a month. I love it.
Exactly. And I want to be just like him and have them park on my dirt because we've got a whole bunch of space that's not being used. We can get probably 8 or 10 vehicles, you know, which will be another $800 to $1,000 a month that we're just not utilizing. So
yeah. Now, especially where you're at over there, you're definitely going to want to base that whole thing, and you're going to want to put the base pretty thick, at least 6 inches thick on that base.
Okay.
Because if you start parking those RVs and you have trucks or trailers out there twisting and turning on it, you'll have them. They'll be sinking like crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'll want at least 6 inches.
6 inches? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put 8 to 12 inches for our semi trucks, but for our other parking we put 4 to 6 depending on how soft the soil is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So, yeah, things are going good. I'm excited about that, getting the storage units fully occupied, and I just had somebody cash me out today. In fact, you guys from Moat wired me $127,000. You know, not all of that's mine. About 70 of it's mine, right at 70. But it's kind of nice. You know, I look at some of these owner finance things as like really long-term, slow flips. You know, because you do fix it up. You have a buyer paying you there for years that you're cash flowing, and now I'm getting a nice big chunk of money. So
we had one pay off not long ago that was like 4 or 5 years old, and they had only paid $5,000 of the principal down, and we had already made $50,000 on the place. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. You know,
it is. It's such a beautiful thing. It's crazy good, and I was you know, it's nice to have an extra $70,000 just pop in your bank account on top of all the money you make every month anyway. It's just
Yep. We usually have that happen once every other month or so. We probably get 6 to 8 of them pay off a year, and it's just out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah. I've had a few this year so far, and you know, some of them were not that high dollar. You know, there's a little rinky-dink $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 houses, but it's nice.
Absolutely. And have you built your staff back up, or you kind of liking running a little bit leaner?
No, I'm trying to be like Mitch and Mike when I grow up, man. You know, I'm leaner. Not physically, of course. I still eat my funnel cakes and burgers, but you know, I am leaner staff wise anyway. You know, and I do like it. I mean, it's kind of funny. I was learning parts of my own business that I didn't even know that I had totally just given to other people, designated to my staff, and you know, like how to set up note servicing, for example, or you know, just various things that we do around the office that I was always given to one of my workers for the past 5 years or so, and now with having no workers other than basically me, my wife, and now my dad jumped on board, but he doesn't know anything about computers or real estate, so he's still in the learning process, So anyway, it's it's just I'm learning a lot of stuff that I didn't know all the details on, and it's a good thing.
Well,
So I know.
well, and that's good because if you do bring a few people back on, or one or two people back on, you'll be able to have the systems in place that you want, rather than them trying to figure out systems. They can just step into the role and run it correctly.
Yep. And I think, we have some of the major stuff like our checklists that we have for when we're buying and selling and that kind of thing, which is a huge help. And then, even though I don't have staff, I have like a sales lady. I've got some lady who does transaction coordination for me. So they're only getting paid, obviously, like the salesperson when there's a sale. So she makes commission.
Yeah, paid on success. Yeah.
Right. And the transaction coordinator, I don't pay that. My borrower pays her. And she is only getting paid when she's doing a deal for me. So she's not just sitting around, playing on Facebook or whatever on the computer. She only gets paid when she completes one of the transactions for me. So it is
That's a beautiful thing. Less on payroll, but still have some help here and there.
Yeah. And then I got a bunch of VAs still. I've got like 7 VAs left. And they're picking up some of the slack that I was having my local people do. I think I told you on an earlier call, I had, Jessica was doing this stuff for me for like $23 an hour. I'm having a VA literally paying 1/10, $225, $250 an hour to do contracts. And once you do the first one, it's just boilerplate stuff. You're just changing the person's name and address, so
yep.
It's not rocket science. I didn't need to pay somebody $23 an hour to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, excellent, man. It's good to hear.
Yeah, lots of good stuff going on.
Good. Well, appreciate the questions, man. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks for your help.
Yep, bye-bye.